Hi, Wes Lee here with your weekly Mesonet weather report. Summers in Oklahoma can be unpleasant due to the oppressive heat. 2 weeks ago, we set a new Mesonet record for heat index of 126.2 at Pauls Valley. This past week, heat index numbers were a little bit better, but actual temperatures reached triple digits in much of the state. On Tuesday, highs were over 100 in most sites west of I-35, with Granfield topping out at 109. The third week of July is statistically the hottest week of the year for maximum air temperatures. It is also when average soil temperatures usually reach their peak highs at somewhere around 96 at 4 inches under bare soil. It's hard to believe that now is the time to begin planting in the backyard garden for a fall crop. One of the biggest obstacles to overcome can be dealing with these high soil temperatures. Garden seeds have an optimal soil temperature, but also a maximum temperature for which they will germinate. For many, this maximum is around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Some method to lower soil temperatures is often needed for germination. This could include frequent wetting, applying mulch, row cover. Gary is up next with some recent changes in the state's drought situation.
Thanks, Wes, and good morning, everyone. Well, it's great to be back after a couple of weeks' absence because I have great news on the latest drought monitor map, at least for most of us, so let's get right to that new map. Well, as you can see, we have 2 strongholds of drought left in the state, so much of the state has been relieved of this drought on the U.S. Drought Monitor. Far southwest Oklahoma and up into north central and northeast Oklahoma, the last 2 remaining areas. But even those areas have gotten some decent rains, not quite as much as the rest of the state, but again, much of the state now drought-free here in mid-July. So certainly good news, because we often have drought increasing during the hotter summer months. Certainly not the case this year. Take a look at these rainfalls from the Mesonet from March 1st through the middle of this week. We have great rainfall totals across much of the state. Still, though, down in far southwest Oklahoma, a little bit up into north central Oklahoma, a little bit lower on those totals. So we could certainly use more rain in those areas, but for much of us, lots of good rains in the double digits, even above 2 feet of rain in some areas, close to 30 inches in other areas. So when we look at that rainfall, though, since March 1st, as a departure from normal over that same time frame from the Oklahoma Mesonet, we see again those areas in southwestern Oklahoma and up in north central Oklahoma over in northeast Oklahoma. Still the bigger deficits in those areas, also a little bit in east central Oklahoma. But again, we have had decent rainfall even in those areas. Just need a little bit more to let those areas join the other parts of the state that have seen good drought relief. Then we take a look at the outlooks for the end of the month into the early part of August. Unfortunately, we do see summer roaring back, greatly increased odds of above normal temperatures and also below normal precipitation across the entire state. So a little bit more of that heat dome as opposed to what we've had previously this summer with lots of rainfall and cooler temperatures. So I'm afraid we might see the drought where it exists now start to multiply just a little bit. But it's not too far now that we're into the latter parts of July into early August before we hit our secondary rainy season in the fall. So hopefully we can keep the momentum going and get this drought out of here by the time we get to winter. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.